For my challenge, I decided to build a house in the woods using the natural environment that was provided to me. This challenge required that I be in a natural setting like the woods. So I went to my mom's house out in Hurley because it's like a rural area with not many houses and there's plenty of woods. One of the most important parts of building a shelter in the woods is to have a smart location geographically. One of the most essential needs for survival is to have fresh water. If you find a small stream or a natural spring, you can bet that it will flow to a larger body of water. Near these areas, you will find things like berries and possibly small animals or fish. Once we find a good location to build, it is time to start collecting the wood. This is the storage to all my wood that I'm going to use for my house that's going to go over here. During this challenge, I learned that you can't make a teepee like I tried to do the first time, as it fell down and I had to rebuild it. Well, today when I came outside, I discovered that my house that I had started to build was knocked down. Don't know what happened, but that's alright because with destruction comes room for improvement. And I have a great idea to fix this problem. One of the good things I'd have to say about this house falling down is that I don't have to go looking for wood. I have plenty of it. So now I'm going to stack it from largest to smallest so I can see how it works out on the new plan. So while stacking my wood, I noticed that I have a nice tree right behind me with this great V shape in it. And I decided to get a nice strong piece of wood, and I can use that V shape as one of the main supports for my building, or my shelter. Then I had this piece of wood right here that I had cut to the size of the height that I would like my structure to be. And I cut a nice notch in it. I'm not sure if you could see it from where you are, but the notch is to hold my crossbar in place while I put the rest of the building or shelter together. I have faith that this is going to work out pretty well. So the next step to building this shelter is to measure the width of it, which I did with these two sticks behind me, which are leaning in at a T shape so that water will run down them and not drip through on me. Although I was supposed to be building it with natural materials, I did go out and purchase this rope for $1 as an exception for the sake of time. As we come to the end of day one working on this shelter, I've got my support beams up, got my walls up. I'm ready to start building a little bit more on the exterior so I have more coverage for the shelter from the environment. So here we are on day 2 of building this new shelter that I began. Today I'm going to be putting my crossbars in all the way up. I got these long sticks that are going to go about every foot all the way up. That way we have some more support and make a stable house to live in here. There were times during this challenge that I thought to myself, like, what am I getting myself into? But as I continued, I started to feel more accomplished, and it was a good feeling. On day 3 of building this shelter, I'm going to work on making a good cover for the outside, cleaning out the inside, and getting it ready for a floor so that it's suitable to live in. I decided to use leaves for the cover of my roof because they blend in well with the natural environment and it'll provide a good warm shelter so that the wind doesn't pierce it. As we come to the final day of working on this shelter, I got my 2 beds down made out of wood, and I got a floor laid down out of wood chips. I also got my fire pit in and a little fire started to keep me warm as it just started to snow.
If I had to choose another challenge, I would choose to build a tree house, like high up in the trees, but only if I had a longer period of time.